Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Canessa coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 29th day of February in the year 2024. Sure hope you're enjoying your Thursday, no matter where it is you are in the country. A lot colder today, isn't it? It really was a lot. It was at least 30 degrees colder this morning than it was yesterday, and it really dropped overnight. When I got up this morning, I certainly had to put on the heat because I turned it off. It was so nice to not have to have the heat the other day, but of course, we're back into this crazy weather here, but we'll see what happens over the weekend where it's supposed to get a little bit warmer. Now, the headline of this special edition of The Observer Live is a little bit telling because in it we mentioned that there are children or teenagers or high school kids who are beating up on other high school kids. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how this happened and how I found out about this. This morning I was on my computer, as I do every morning, watching Morning Joe, and I got an email from somebody who directed me to these videos. First, it was on a Instagram page which had nothing on it, and it led to this Twitter page that also had a Discord server. And what I saw when I first got to the Twitter page was about as disturbing as anything I've ever seen. And you will see the URL to the Twitter page is listed on the screen here right now, twitter.com/NJFights, FIGHT, and then ZZZ. That's the URL that I would invite anybody who wishes to see any of this to look at. What was striking was that the email that I received was from somebody who knew the victim of one of the people who, in these videos that you're about to see, got beaten up mercilessly. It was, and some of these videos, which I'm going to show you without blocking any faces, are very disturbing. They are extremely disturbing, and perhaps the most irritating thing about all of these. Nothing is not irritating about any of these videos, but some of them, in fact, all of them, take place either in Harrison or in Kearny. You cannot miss some of the locations. One is very close to my home. Another is directly outside the Kearny Library and across the street from the Dunkin' Donuts on Kearny Avenue. You cannot miss some of these locations. And the truth of the matter is, I reached out to a couple of people who I know who are parents of school children in these grade levels, and none of them had heard anything about this at all. None of them had known that any of this was going on. And you will see in these videos teenagers who go to Harrison High School, Kearny High School, and Washington Middle School in Harrison. That doesn't mean there aren't kids from other schools who are there as well, but those three, I can tell you with 100% certainty, are represented in these videos. Kearny High School, Harrison High School, and Washington Middle School. When you think about how young some of these kids are, some of them are 12. And the fighting in some of them is vicious and disgusting. Now, what you will also see in these videos is a lot of coarse language, some cursing, some bigoted language, which is being used by these teenagers. I don't know why some of them use this word. The N-word is thrown about several times. I did not blurt anything out. I want you to see what everybody else can see on these videos. And what I'm fairly certain is that there are very few parents who are aware of what is going on at Kearny High, Harrison High School, Washington Middle School, and more than likely other schools in the West Hudson area, maybe even in South Bergen or someplace on the other side of the river in Essex County. So I wanted to prepare you for that first, but realize this. What you're going to see and what you're going to hear is not pleasant at all. It's not pretty at all. It's grotesque, in fact. And there is at least one instance where you will see a child who is bloodied. very bloodied, basically apologizing from the bottom of his heart and begging for it to stop. And these kids just continue and continue and continue. What you will also see is one incident that clearly takes place inside a school with an adult who looks like he is wearing a police crest. I can't tell for certain. I don't want to say what school I think it is, but it certainly looks that way. It certainly looks that way. But this is as bad as anything I've ever seen. Somebody said, somebody said there were always fights in front of the library in the 70s, 80s. I went to Washington way back, and we had fights in the yard. This is not like stuff that happened years ago. Maybe it is, I don't know. And perhaps it's because there are videos available of it. But this is not fair fighting either. You will also see that some of these attacks are unprovoked, where the kid is looking around and thinking, everything's okay. So I want you to take a look at this. I'm going to show you the video. Anybody who wishes to discuss it may do so, but parents, be aware of this. This is pretty brutal, and I want that to be very clear from the onset, that what you're about to see is not for the faint of heart, and is certainly not something I think that's going to be pleasant for anybody to see. Stand by. Here it is.
Oh, hell no. There's mad cameras out the window and shit.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! All right, there we go. There we go. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh oh oh! Oh shit! Oh oh oh! Yeah! Fuck that nigga up! Fuck him up!
Hey, fuck him up.
Yeah! All right, run it back. Come on! Come on! Get your hits in. Come on! Come on! Let's go! Get your hits in. Come on! All right. Oh yeah, he wants more. He wants more. He wants more. He wants more.
That's it. He leaving.
Oh man.
Boom! All right, boom, nigga. Come on. Give me that shit, cousin. Sorry, nigga. Give me that shit, cousin. Yeah, nigga. What's up with it, nigga? Fuck all that.
That nigga shoes, bro. That nigga shoes, bro. Give me your fucking
Take that
shoes,
shit.
bro.
Boom. Take the shoes.
Fuck your shoes, crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Whooping his ass. Whooping his ass.
Yeah, John. Rocky shit, John. Oh yeah, nigga. Come on.
How many niggas in the shot? Yo, pick his head.
Come on, you got that. You got
Sepárela, ¿qué están haciendo todos viendo? Sepárela.
Stop touching me.
No, tú no me toques a mí.
Okay,
Sepárela.
touch
¿Por qué?
me.
Pero sepárela.
Yo, chill out. Don't touch it, man. Don't touch it.
Get out with no mask, niggas know it was me. I only hang with niggas who want steps. Nobody's catching over for that check.
Watch this now. This kid basically, it's going to look like he's very cool with the person who's about to attack him.
drink, I'm full. I ain't stepping no smoke, I'm close. Everybody too full. Please don't tell me the truth. Ain't had man really know what I do. You ain't hopping out too. X-Walk, I ate some steaks like a zoo. Oh no!
Yeah, they do. We got this here, move, nigga, move. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Big Brazilian shit, nigga. Big Brazilian.
Right there. Yeah, I hope I can pull it back just a little bit. Washington Middle School. Very clear. Right there on the shirt.
Big Brazilian shit, nigga. Big EGM shit, nigga.
There's mad cars.
Oh shit. Oh, you fucked up.
Hey!
So there it is. There it is. You know, Barbara Hall said it best earlier. Disgusting. And this is not just high school kids, it's middle school kids as well. And I think in a couple of the videos you can clearly hear adult voices in the background saying knock it off. So, you know, at least people were trying to put a stop to it and not allow it to just go on for video's sake. And yeah, I know there are going to be people who are saying that I'm perpetuating this as well by showing this, but no, I'm showing this because I don't think enough parents are aware of this. I really don't. I do believe that some people have been arrested and charged, but here's one of the biggest problems that you're going to find, that in many of these cases, because there are juveniles involved, the detectives do a lot of work, they spend a lot of time, and then the cases either are not prosecuted, they're not prosecuted fully, and they're charged as juveniles, and the kids get away with it. And that is in itself part of the problem, because they know that when they do these kinds of things, they're going to get away with it. They know that if there are no consequences to their actions, they can just do it. They can go out and they can wail on each other and scream at each other and kick and punch and do whatever the hell they want. And no matter what happens, there will be no consequences to their actions. And that is the biggest shame of all of this, that in the state of New Jersey, when you are a juvenile, you're not going to get in all that much trouble no matter what you do. We had a story a couple of weeks ago. And you know, somebody earlier said, I'm going to just put this back up on the screen, that in the 70s and 80s, I went to Washington School and we had fights in the yard. Yeah, but I don't think those were much more than one-on-one fights or two-on-two fights. In some of these videos, it's a case of one person being attacked by 5 or more people, getting kicked and punched and sucker punched as well. You know, that happened in a couple of these, where the one kid basically slaps his hand with the other. It's like they're going to end this, and then he turns around, starts walking to his stoop, and the guy just punches him mercilessly in the back of the head and knocks him to the ground. That's not fighting, that's attacking. And I don't know if this is something that's planned. I don't know if this is some kind of initiation to get into a group or a gang. Yeah, I said the word gang, because that's more feasible, I think, now than ever before. And the fact that parents aren't being alerted to this happening in our communities is perhaps even more disturbing to me than the actions of these teenagers. Kids are kids and sometimes do stupid things. But when adults are aware of it and they sweep it under the carpet and don't tell adults that their kids are getting attacked by other teenagers, that's a big problem. That's a huge problem in my mind. I want to be aware that this is happening in my community. And one of the reasons why I'm so pissed off today is because one of those attacks happened about, I would say, a quarter mile from my doorstep at home. That's disturbing. It's possible that those kids have passed in front of my home when I get home. It's possible that those kids have walked past my house at some point in time. But don't let it be something that somebody finds because a parent is not getting the answers that he or she wants from the school system and then have to see it on a video that's on YouTube, that's probably on TikTok also. They didn't have a link for it, but it probably is on TikTok. There's also a Discord server, and there's also an Instagram page. So more than likely, these videos are in multiple locations. And in one of them has a caption from the kid's father who is proudly bragging that his son beat the shit out of another kid. Are you kidding me? So you know it's a problem, too, when adults are doing things to encourage this. But the bottom line is that not enough people are aware of this, folks. I am not looking for anything other than awareness here. I don't want to see another kid get attacked like this in any of our towns, anywhere. But yet it has happened. It has happened more than once. Not enough people are aware of it, but now they will be. And I do hope that anybody who's watching this right now, our audience today is very small on a Thursday. I understand that. But anybody who's watching this, you have to let people know about this. We're going to do our best. I hope you will share this with people so that they are aware of what is happening in their own backyards, that there are teenagers who are beating the crap out of other teenagers, and in many cases they are doing so without consequence, because as hard as the police work to get these cases prosecuted, the prosecutors and the DAs, or the prosecutors are just not able to do anything about it. Their hands are tied by weak criminal justice standards in this state. You think for a second if something like that happened in the state of Texas or the state of Florida, that those kids wouldn't be paying the ultimate price for that? Not in Jersey. And that is perhaps the scariest thing, that they know what they can get away with, and they do get away with it. Our own Lisa, who's in the other room, says parents should contact the schools. Yes, they should. And if anybody asks why we didn't, I'm going to tell you this right now. If I had brought this up to a superintendent ahead of time, they wouldn't have commented. They just wouldn't have. I know how they work. I know that that's the MO. They're not going to comment on this. But if parents say something, then you don't have a choice. You're going to have to. If you say, what is going on? Why is my kid's classmate getting beaten, sucker punched, bleeding profusely after school, not too far away from school, then maybe something will get done. Maybe. But this is something I think that the mayors of Harrison, East Newark, and Kearny need to be aware of. It's something the superintendent of schools in Harrison and East Newark, and also Kearny, need to be well aware of too, and every parent in these communities needs to be aware that it's possible that it could happen to one of their kids when they're walking home from school, that they could be by themselves on Kearny Avenue or Frankie Rogers Boulevard or Davis Avenue or wherever it is. Some of those were right off of Davis Avenue. Some of them were off of Hamilton Street in Harrison. Some of them were pretty close to Davis and Frankie Rogers intersection. You know, it's possible that while they're walking home, that this is going to be the fate that their child meets. And they need to be aware of it. And they need to be prepared for it. And by not saying anything, I mean, listen, it's very possible that I just haven't spoken to enough parents at this point. But you can usually get a good sampling, and I did this morning, of about 5 parents, none of whom knew about this. So if they don't know about it, and these are very involved, very active, very vocal parents, I doubt that the average parent is going to be aware that this stuff is happening. Because, you know, the kids aren't going to tell their parents that their classmate got the crap kicked out of them earlier in the day. They don't do that. But this is what's happening. And folks, I really hope and pray it doesn't happen again. And I don't know what the solution is, because when you can't prosecute and you can't give consequences to things like this happening, the police, what do they do? You know, what do they do? I spoke with a police officer this morning who told me that we did arrest in one of these cases. Not any of the videos that you've seen here, but in the case that I had mentioned earlier, the couple was walking hand in hand on Kearny Avenue after school. It was in the 4 o'clock hour a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago. And as they were walking on Kearny Avenue, a group of 5 attacked this couple. It was a boy and a girl, both high school students, who were attacked. The girl was attacked by a girl. The boys were attacked by 4 boys. And both of them were hospitalized in serious condition, too. We're not even just talking about bruises or cuts. I mean, we're talking about, like, serious injuries here. So what's it going to take? Is it going to take a kid getting killed or put into a coma or being brain dead? I don't know. But something's got to be done. I don't have the solution, but I hope somebody out there does. And I hope that whenever it happens soon, it happens swiftly, because if not, some kid's going to pay the ultimate price. That would be a disgrace. It really would be, folks. So that's where it stands. If you have not seen this video, you'll be able to watch the podcast in a few moments. Once we sign off, it will be available in a podcast form. You can watch it again. And the individual fights that I had fused together are on that Twitter URL, which you can see at the bottom right corner of your screen. Just log on to that, and you'll be able to find it very, very clearly from there. If there's any follow-up to this, I will bring it to you. I will bring it to you as soon as I can. And I don't intend on letting this go. I don't think Lisa would want me to let it go until we get some answers and some kind of possible solutions. But folks, this is disgusting. This is our community. This is where we live. This is where we do business. This is where we shop and spend our money and do things that we think are going to help us and then get home at night. But if these teenagers can't even leave their schools without getting mercilessly attacked in this way, then we got a problem. And we have a problem that needs to be solved, and needs to be solved sooner than later. So again, I will ask you all, please share this video so that people can see it. And if you don't share mine, put the link to the Twitter down at the bottom that I put on there so that people can see this, what's happening. They need to be aware. Every parent of every child at Kearny High School, Harrison High School, Washington Middle School, Lincoln Middle School, Franklin School, Schuyler School, you name it, they all need to know that this has happened in their towns. And if they're not careful, God forbid, it could happen to them, and that would be the biggest sham of them all. It is 55 minutes past the hour. Kevin Canessa here with you on this uniquely different edition of The Observer Live. This is what I wish I never had to do, but I am nonetheless glad that we were able to do it because, again, people needed to see this. This was as bad as anything I've seen in my lifetime. And again, I know that there was somebody here who said, this used to happen all the time at Washington School, but that was a good one-on-one fight. You had you squared away your differences. It was over, and you went and you moved on. This is brutal attacks. This is not a one-on-one fight. This is 5-on-1, 5-on-2. You saw there's two of them where there was two fights going on at the same time. Girls, boys, doesn't matter. There's no immunity here. No one's immune from this. So we will see what happens in the coming weeks. We'll see if we get any kind of response, and if we do, we will bring it to you. We'll bring it to you live and, of course, in print. In the next edition of The Observer and subsequent editions of The Observer. This is not something that's probably going to just go away after a couple of days. I certainly know that I will not allow it to, and I don't think Lisa would either, so we will see what happens. All right, everybody, that's it for now. I will be back tomorrow at 1:30 with my good friend Tony Mondero, my dear friend Tony Mondero. We will have our weekly look at the weather, and hopefully it'll be a little bit warmer than today. And tomorrow we'll talk to you a little bit more about the weather and what's coming up this weekend. And if we have anything new to report later on this, we will do it. From the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com, Kevin Canessa signing off for now. And we hope to see you back here again very, very soon, which will be tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.